this is going to be bread. This kind of looks like bread, right? It's plastic bread. And so with this bread, we are going to make a sandwich. Specifically, we're going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich together. And for the purposes of this exercise, this orange dry erase marker is going to be our jar of peanut butter. And this purple dry erase marker is going to be our jar of jelly. And so now we're going to do the process of all of you giving me instructions on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I'm going to switch my camera over, if I can, 1 second. Just adjust this a little bit. All right. And all right, so here I have my bread. Here I have my jars of peanut butter and jelly. Now, is there someone who wants to volunteer to be our first participant? Sam? Samuel? Great, thank you, Samuel. So why don't you start? Give me some instructions on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay. Okay. That's a weird looking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's too late, too late. You lost your chance, Samuel. So right now I have 2 pieces of bread that are together with a jar of peanut butter on top and a jar of jelly on top. Not the ideal sandwich. I don't know how I'm gonna eat this thing. Asel? Okay, yeah, why don't you go for it, Asel. Let me reset the situation. Okay. Okay. Nope, too late. I'm already doing this. Too bad. Okay, got the peanut butter spread on the bread. Okay, same thing for the jelly. Got it. Nope, same thing for the jelly. Okay, cool. We got our stuff here. Okay, now what? Can I eat it like that? Okay. Yum yum yum. Okay. So nice. Nice sandwich, Asel. All right, who wants to take a crack next? I heard another voice. Elijah? Okay, go for it. Let me reset, sorry. Okay, good to go. All across the bread, got it. Okay. Okay, I got this wet bread. What's next? Okay, we're getting somewhere. I mean, there's some peanut butter on jelly contact on that one. So there, we're getting closer. All right, do we have another contender? All right, who's that speaking? Shane? Okay, let me just reset my bread real quick. All right, let's make a sandwich, Shane. There we go. Got it. Okay. All right, I'll go for it. I'll play along that far. Good, we don't want to let that peanut butter go bad. Okay. Okay. I'll take it. Delicious sandwich. And let's see, let me just, there, I took a bite out of it, we'll say. Great, very well done. Okay, so when we're thinking about programming, right, we need to remember that the computer, it doesn't know what bread is. It doesn't have a concept of what a sandwich should be. It doesn't have this human experience. Our job as people who are writing programs is to give very specific instructions to this computer so that it can carry them out, and the result is something that we want, something that we hope for, something that we meant to have happen, not just some mash of peanut butter and jelly and bread mush. And there's another thing that I want to get across with this activity beyond just specific instruction. It's not just the specificity of the instruction, it's the order that you do it in, right? You can't spread the peanut butter without opening the jar, right? Otherwise you're just rubbing a jar on a piece of bread. The order is important. The way you interact with these things is important. And there's also one more thing that I want to get to when it comes to specifically programming that we're going to be doing, which is, let me switch my camera yet again to this one. So we want to think about three main types of thing that we're dealing with here. So one, in the example that we just did with this peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we have nouns. I'm going to break them up into parts of speech. Nouns, verbs, and adjectives. So, I don't know if you've all taken English classes recently, right? But nouns are people, places, or things. Verbs are actions, and adjectives are descriptors, right? So in this scenario of bread, peanut butter, and jelly, what are some examples of nouns that we have? Right, so we got PB&J, bread. Great. And so what are some verbs that are attached to these nouns? So what are some verbs for peanut butter? Open, and spread. I heard both of the main ones I'm going for. Yeah. Great. So we got open and spread. And jelly has the same verbs, right? Open and spread. And we'll get to this later on, but I want you to just take note of the fact that even though these are two different things, two different, I'm going to call them sandwich sauces because I like how weird that sounds. Even though we have these two different sandwich sauces, they both have the same set of verbs, which means there's something similar about these. We're not going to get into that right now, but just take note of that. And bread, do we have any verbs for bread? Yeah, put it together, close it. We'll say, I'm gonna say put it together. I think that's a little clearer to me. Put it together. And some adjectives. Let's think about some peanut butter adjectives. What kind of peanut butter adjectives do we have? Smooth. Smooth. I can get with that. Okay, I can get with that. We'll say smooth. Brown? Yeah, brown. And so smooth and brown, you can also think of these as, yes, they are descriptors, but you can also think of smooth as a type of texture. And brown is a color. So we'll get to that in a second. There's another one, right, which is, what is the difference between this peanut butter and this peanut butter? Right, the peanut butter can be open or closed. So I'm just going to call that adjective, I'll say open or close. I'll just do that for now. And jelly has basically the same adjectives that can apply to it, but instead of brown, it's purple. Instead of smooth, it might be gloppy, I don't know. But it also has open and closed. So now, I don't, instead of thinking of these as nouns, verbs, and adjectives, we're going to switch over to some programming terminology, which is objects, functions, or methods, and attributes. All right, so take note of those terms because they're going to be very important moving forward. And so attributes are descriptors of objects, right? In the same way that adjectives are descriptors of nouns. And the way that we can think about these ones like the texture, color, and the open state in object-oriented programming, I could say something like, you can see this down here, right? PB, our peanut butter, dot texture equals smooth. Right? So the texture of our peanut butter is smooth. The jelly dot color equals purple. Can you read that okay? It looks all right. So even outside of a programming environment, we can still apply the same types of thought to these systems. Even a system as simple as a peanut butter and jelly sandwich can get a bit complex when you're thinking about it on a algorithmic and programmatic level.